pussy is so wet. Oh, my fucking pussy.
Where the fuck is this cabin? Cabin in the Woods was fucking phenomenal. That was easily the best movie I've seen this year, and one of the best horror films I've seen in years. I didn't read up too much on this before I went to see it because I wanted to be surprised. I didn't want anything spoiled for me. So I pretty much just watched the trailer, and I knew the gist of the movie. And yeah, there are a lot of interesting things in this movie that you don't want to get spoiled before you see it. So if you haven't seen this movie yet, don't read anything about it. Just go in blind, and you're in for a hell of a time. I mean, the first third of this movie is like a traditional horror movie. A lot of fun, funny. One of the characters is this pothead who I was dying. He is hysterical. He's such an awesome character. He talks like an old man. He's, guys, I don't think we should do that. Like he talks like an old, like 85-year-old man. Yet he's 20, and I just could not get enough of that kid. He was so great. And the second half, or the second third of this movie, it's kind of starts to get like, wow, okay, so this is what's really going on. This is really awesome. I have never seen anything like this before. And then the last third of this movie is bananas. I mean, I was like, are they going to do it? Are they going to do it? Please do it. Please do it. Yes, they fucking, oh my God, this is amazing. And then for like, 15 minutes, it's just a nonstop amazingness. And then the ending, which was, I liked the ending a lot. And there was a lot of, this is definitely a satire on certain things. It was definitely not, picking fun, saying, oh, horror's stupid. Let's make fun of all the cliches in horror. It's not like that at all. It's more like, let's love the cliches. This is what we like. This is why people watch horror movies. And although this movie was original, it had blood, it had guts, it had tits, and it was just an all-around amazingly fun time. And we really need to support movies like this at the box office. If you haven't seen it, just go see it. Because if this movie tanks or just horrible, then we're not going to get cool, entertaining movies like this. And we're just going to get shitty, the things that this movie is kind of making fun of. That's all we're going to keep getting in the theater, because every time a movie that does come along that's original, it just doesn't do well. And now I kind of want to talk about sort of what I feel like was the metaphor for this movie. So this is kind of a spoiler if you haven't seen it, so close it now. So in this movie, there's the three things. There's the gods, there's the company or whatever that's manipulating the kids, and then there's the kids in the cabin. So I feel like the metaphor for this was the gods were the audience, the horror audience watching the movie. The people working in that laboratory were the filmmakers, the director, everyone that comes together to make a movie. And then the kids in the woods were obviously the movie itself. So as the movie's going on, the filmmakers are trying to make sure it stays on that line that needs to be, that script. Like, it has to have, like, these cliches, and this has to happen. The kids have to make the wrong decision so they get killed. And there has to be the fog rising up, and just all the things that you see in all the horror movies. These guys are making sure this happens in every one, because that's what the horror audience seems to keep going and going and seeing and seeing. And I feel like this is kind of making a statement of how when something does come along that's original, it seems like horror fans or audiences in general just get up in an uproar and they don't like it. Some, obviously people do really like it, but for the most part people are confused by it and they don't like it, which is why at the end the gods are angry because they didn't get exactly how they wanted it, with these people dying in this order and this one surviving. So they're angry, and you see the god's hand rise up from the ground. Just kind of like my take on that metaphor. Whatever. Yeah. So go see Cabin in the Woods. I'd give this shit not quite a 9.5, more than a 9. I'm gonna say 9.25 out of 10. It was phenomenal.